top BJP leaders review a meeting with Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and this is to review the government's performance as far as COVID-19 is concerned. This is just months before the polls, a two-day review meeting in Lucknow. The meeting being chaired by top party leaders from Delhi, and leaders have met up with Chief Minister Adityanath and they will meet his deputies. The UP government's COVID response is being reviewed along with the panchayat polls. Those will also be part of the discussion. And we have Alok joining us. Alok, get us the details about this review meeting that's being held in Lucknow.
Well, so two things. Number one, the fact is that the last few months have been trying for the UP government here, led by Yogi Adityanath. And there have been multiple questions that have been raised on the response that they've given to the COVID pandemic and its second wave, where there has been a trail of death and destruction, not only in UP but across the country, but markedly so in India's most populous state. So these national leaders who've come down from Delhi, we are told that they have spoken to the Chief Minister and to people within the organization in the UP BJP. And they've tried to see how they can publicize the government's response to the pandemic, the positive things that the government has done in a more effective manner to the people. The context also, of course, is the fact that in about 8 or 9 months from now, we are going to see assembly polls in Uttar Pradesh, and this will perhaps be the most important poll this country will see ahead of the 2024 assembly elections, just by the sheer size of assembly seats that will poll and the sheer size of voters that you have in Uttar Pradesh. That's number one. Number two, they've also tried to look at some kind of feedback from the government and the ministers. Remember, what has also happened in the last some time is the fact that a lot of MLAs in particular, they have not met these MLAs, but these MLAs have spoken out against the government. I remember that one MLA, I think Rakesh Rathore, who is an MLA from Sitapur, he even spoke out saying that if he said too much about how the government was handling the pandemic or medical services, then a sedition case would be filed against him. So all of these things are on the radar of these ministers. They are, of course, also looking at the panchayat elections, and they are looking at the kind of performance that the BJP has put in. While a lot of these elections are not conducted on party symbols, so to say, but the parties do support candidates. And in places like Varanasi, for instance, in Mathura, in Gorakhpur, where you would imagine that the BJP would be very strong, their performance has not been up to the mark. So that's something that they have also looked at. A third aspect is the fact that there are some rumors, so to say, that they are looking at the performance of the top leadership, which is the Chief Minister and his deputies. But as far as I have heard, at the moment there does not seem to be a move to replace these people. But yes, they certainly are going to look at feedback and going to see how they can organizationally prepare for the coming elections that will be very significant for the BJP, given the kind of performance they put up in 2017 when they had an absolute majority here in Uttar Pradesh and then installed Yogi Adityanath. He was not the Chief Minister face before the election, but they came in and installed him as the Chief Minister. So stock taking, important stock taking exercise, happening here in Lucknow.